Hey guys, this wasn't exactly the video that I was trying to make tonight, or that I was planning to make tonight. This has been the longest day. I kind of just wanted to update you on what's going on with Falcon. It's 12:25 a.m. right now, and I basically just got back from the emergency room, like the animal emergency room. This is like breaking news, up to date. Sorry, I'm kind of a mess right now. I really just got back from the ER late. So I'll just take you guys from the beginning. I'm gonna try to keep it together while I get through this story. But I had a pretty good cry in the car on the way home from the ER, so hopefully I can maintain my facial expressions while I tell you guys the story. So last night when I got home from work, Falcon seemed kind of tired, just every now and then, my dogs get kind of lazy. So I made a note of it. I was like, okay, she's slower than normal, but she's Phoenix level lazy. So to me, that wasn't too crazy yet, but I was like, all right, something, it seems kind of off, and I'm gonna just keep an eye on her. I checked her gums, which is usually the first thing I do. I just look here and make sure that they're a healthy pink, they should look like our gums. They were kind of pale. She was moving pretty slowly, but it was not a huge cause for alarm for me, because every now and then, look at Phoenix, she's pretty lazy now. So today when I got home from work, she was even slower than yesterday. She was just taking a really long time to walk from one place to another. She was taking these tiny, slow steps, and it seemed like a huge effort for her to lay down and get up or anything. So she would just get somewhere and kind of just be stuck there, standing there looking at nothing. And I was like, okay, something is really wrong now, because this dog generally is so hyper. When I get home from work, she's usually running up and down the hallways and nearly knocking me over with her excitement. And today she wasn't. She was just hi. I checked her gums and they were pretty pale, and that's when I was like, okay, something's wrong. I really have to call the vet. Meanwhile, all of this is happening while Mike is on a business trip, so I'm by myself taking care of Tiny and Phoenix and Falcon and just trying to make it all work. So I called the vet, and it's after hours at this point, because I had already gotten home from work, and I just told them what was going on, and they were like, okay, we recommend you get her to the ER tonight. And I was like, okay, good. Exactly what I thought, and I just wanted to double check with them that I wasn't completely overreacting over my dog being lethargic. I asked my mother-in-law to come here and watch Tiny while he slept, because I wasn't gonna take a toddler to the dog ER during his bedtime. It would just be a nightmare for everybody. So we got that taken care of, and I took Falcon, and it was pretty quick. But as soon as a tech saw her, so he weighed her, he was just she looks really pale, I'm just gonna take her right back to the doctor. And I was just okay, good, at least she's getting in and they're looking at her right away, because I was is this dog gonna collapse? I don't know. She had gone so far down in her energy level since yesterday, and it just seemed like it was getting worse. As I suspected with the white gums, the doctor came out and told me that she's severely anemic. And I'm not a vet. I'm gonna try to explain this as best I could, but at that point when she was talking to me, I was just trying so hard to keep it together. So I'm gonna try to remember everything they said, but I was okay, yes. In terms of normal levels of red blood cells, Falcon was running at less than half. It was not quite half. She was just slightly less than half, which is why she was so slow, why she was so pale. And apparently I did absolutely the right thing by bringing her in. She also had a fever, which I kind of suspected. She had a 105.6 fever, and her red blood cell count was super low, which is why she was so pale and why she's so moving so slow. Which girl, I get. Can't be your normal self when you only have half of your red blood cells. So they're keeping her overnight. They did a whole bunch of blood tests. I can't even tell you exactly what everything was. They're just checking her red blood cell count, checking her white blood cell count, checking her platelets and all that stuff. There was just a plethora of tests that they ran just to see what the heck was going on. And they also did 4 x-rays of just to make sure that she didn't eat anything that was causing her to be this anemic, for her body to just be like attacking her red blood cells. So because her count was so low and she just really needed more blood cells, she's getting a blood transfusion tonight, which as soon as I heard that, I was like, I feel a lot more comfortable that she's like there with people who can help her, instead of here with me, who's gonna be like, what's happening? In terms of what's causing her to be this anemic and so quickly too, like we don't really know. The doctor was saying that yesterday she was probably at like a higher red blood cell count, maybe like slightly lower than normal, but not as low as it was today. So it's just been declining. So they said there could be 2 reasons why her count is so low. And one of them is that she could have gotten some infectious disease or some sort of infection that's like latched onto a red blood cell and her body's just like attacking it. I don't know. So she's on like a whole bunch of antibiotics right now to kill whatever that is, if that's the case, which would probably be like the shortest lead time in terms of like her feeling better. There's that, but then there's also the possibility that she has some sort of immune system issue where her body is just attacking her red blood cells and just trying to wipe them out, which is not good and would actually be worse because it's like more of a long-term thing. Like she'd probably be medicated. Bless you. Bless you, my goodness. She'd probably be medicated for the rest of her life, I guess, for it. And we'd have to really keep going back to the doctor to check up and make sure that she's okay. They didn't see anything wrong with her x-rays. Like it didn't look like she ate anything weird. They were saying that like if she had eaten like pennies or something and there was like zinc or some sort of metal that could be toxic for her blood. She eats everything, but thank goodness she didn't eat any pennies. I told them immediately as soon as we got there, I was like, this dog eats everything, so it wouldn't hurt to do an x-ray. I wish I took a picture of it because I had never seen a dog x-ray before, but you could see her little ribs, her stomach, her intestines, and her heart and her lungs. It was like really cool. I kind of want to ask them if I could have it. They just said that her spleen seemed like kind of bigger than normal, and which is totally expected for something immune system related. So okay, are you comfy? Phoenix, you're not in the frame. Phoenix has switched sides because apparently that wasn't as comfortable. The doctor's words were like, we're glad you brought her in because she has to stay here tonight. She needs a lot. She needs an IV. She needs a blood transfusion. She needs a bunch of tests. And she needs people checking on her. And I was like, okay, please, like, do that. whatever you need to do. Based on the x-ray and all the blood tests that they did today, they couldn't tell me for sure, like, what is causing this and, like, what I should be anticipating. That in and of itself is pretty scary, plus the fact that she's like got to be hooked up to a bunch of stuff tonight and they're doing a blood transfusion. That's like insane. Like I've never gotten a blood transfusion. Thank goodness for 24-hour animal ERs. And then the other thing was they suggested that we get an ultrasound because Falcon's pretty young. She's only 3, but you can't rule out lymphoma or leukemia or all those other horrible things that I just really didn't want to hear tonight. But we don't know. Like, we don't know for sure. I just know that she's in the ER and she's like hooked up to stuff and she's getting a transfusion and she's not feeling well, and that is just breaking my heart. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I'm really sorry that I just didn't have the energy to provide you guys with one of my usual videos today. And hopefully everything's okay. They let me say goodbye to her before they brought her back and like really hooked her up to a bunch of stuff. And I just like about lost it. Poor Falcon, like I thought she was gonna fall over. She was just like so drained of energy. All I could do was just give her a hug, which she's already not too fond of, and tell her that everything was gonna be fine and that they were gonna fix her up. More to come, I guess. I'll update you guys. You could check my social media accounts if you want to know like minute by minute what's going on. And I think they're gonna call me tomorrow, and if not, I could always just be like, how's it going? to me, I just hope that she's gonna be okay, and like whatever the issue is, that it's not this long-term thing that she has to fight her entire life. And I don't know if we like specifically have shared this before, but she's also epileptic, so she does take medication for seizures, and she generally has them after she's had like a stressful event. I'm just really hoping that that doesn't play into effect in any of this, and that she just doesn't have a seizure while this is happening, because I just don't know if her body can handle it. I'm just gonna be thinking about Falcon all day tomorrow at work. But anyway, sorry about not having my regular video, and thanks for watching and listening and just being yourselves. Give your dogs an extra hug tonight, because they're so important, and they're our babies. Phoenix is very tired and she's just ready for this video to be over. I'll keep you guys updated, alright? Bye.